Hello Disney Infinity fans and welcome to part 3 of my building series Building Dagobah. This time we build Yoda's mission. Well, and why part 3 took so long for me to make? Let's talk about that later and start building Yoda's home. Yeah guys, I started with the treehouse bridge from Building Sets Group 1, which is placed one block left from the left theme of this first riverband here. So, well, I wanted to have a little doormat for Yoda's house, so I placed the treehouse edge platform. And besides that, to the one to the right, the treehouse corner platforms, I put down because, well, Yoda lives in a swamp, and who wants to have wet feet when he steps out of his house? So we put down 4 of them here. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So now Yoda needs a house. And in the same building sets group, the Ewok village hut. But who is, which side is the entrance? Yeah, that looks cool. So, and in my video from 2 years ago, I had a little fire. And, well, the Ewok village bonfire would be cool. I will put down the trees and the smoke plume for the fire pit later. But I like this fire because well, let's say it works by itself because the fire moves. So, as a little entrance here for the bridge, I put down 2 fantasy terrain corners too. And, well, style, Colby terrain, no. Briar Ridge, maybe. Huh. I haven't thought about that before. So, but for that we have to turn them around. Well, the style doesn't fit 100%, but hey, we are in a swamp. There is fog and sound and everything. So, it should fit nicely. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think I love that. So, well, I started the tower, or I built the tower with basic blocks, and the bridge over the riverband. I used this upside down dip beam, which I placed, yeah, on this left theme here. Bit forward. Yeah, cool. So we need a style for that. Castle brick maybe. Well, let's see. Oh, now I think dungeon would be better. Well, and with setting the theme, we can put down more of those basic blocks because we want to build the whole tower with this style. So first we need a pair of stairs. Yep, exactly. Cool. So, and let me think, let me take a look on my pictures I took from my Toybox. Oh yeah, let's take the long bricks. Well, I always build on the fly, because I thought this toy box would never see a tutorial. But let me tell you, this toy box gave me such a headache. 2 years ago, I wasn't as experienced with building things and how to do things and upload to YouTube and everything. Well, I can tell you, I think it was 2 days before Star Wars Day, I tried to save my Toybox. And I did something else, and accidentally I've overwritten my save file for Star Wars Day, and the whole Toybox was gone for good. So what did I do? Luckily, I've uploaded the whole Toybox to my PlayStation Plus account online, so I was able to download all the data back to my PlayStation, and well, I wasn't that lucky. Let's say 90% of what I've built so far was still there, but yeah, the other 10% were gone. But in 2 days I was able to redo what I did then. But well, that's the reason why this Toybox gave me such a headache, and I refused to do anything for it, even a Part 3 as a tutorial. So yeah, let's see. Here we can fill up the gaps with the long blocks. Yeah, I think that works. Cool. That looks cool. So let's see. Yeah, that looks like in my original Toybox. The headache Toybox. So, well, this part where I put the square blocks now is where the collecting bin will sit. The one I showed you in a previous video. So when we need, so let's see, this block and this block, this stair, the 2 long blocks on the back side, and the pair of stairs above will be connected to path, and they will sit somewhere in the area when we enter the Toybox. Well, and here we need the trigger area for the collecting bin later. And well, let's put some railings on the tower, which I had in the video from Star Wars Day. And let's see, I always love the vertical barrier pieces, but no, not the big ones, but the small vertical barrier blocks. Yeah, they look good here. But well, those small vertical barrier blocks have, the bounding boxes are quite big, so when we box in the collecting bin later, we have to turn them around or twist around for them not to collide. So let's see, some railings here. I mean, I don't know if that's suitable for a jungle. I just love it to put it in. So 5 here, and I think it was 4 on the other side. Yes, cool. So for the collecting bin, we use the same small vertical barrier pieces. And like I said, here we have to twist them around that the bounding boxes don't collide with each other. Yep. Yeah, let's put it there. So, and the style, I like the style for those. The castle etching. We'll make it a theme, because we need 8 of them, 2 on each side. So you see here we have to turn them around, that because the bounding boxes collide. So, and on this side we turn them inwards, and on this side we turn them outwards. Cool. So let's see how that looks. That looks good. So we want the blocks I showed you earlier to sit somewhere in the area, which will then be solved by a holocron that they move in position. The path point, the last path point, which is very important here, must be in the middle of each block. So the first path point must be in the area where we want to sit, where we want the basic blocks to sit initially when we enter the toy box. So we can make some path, make some nice curves, no sharp turns that would look not good, but then the last path point must be in the middle under the block. Okay, cool. I won't show you every path I laid down here because I did it totally randomly. There are just a few things to make sure of. So when you lay your path for those pieces of the tower, you can let them cross each other. But I recommend highly not to let them cross too closely, because we want to prevent that the blocks later collide with each other when they move on their path. We can control that with the speed we put on the path as well. So this is the last path. I put down the other ones offline. You see here they cross each other, yes, but not too closely. And with, like I said, with the speed I will put on the path, which are set between 50-ish and 75-ish, you can prevent that the blocks collide later. So let's look how the whole thing looks. Yeah, if you need more detailed information about how to lay the path, how I did it here, which is randomly, I can tell you, it doesn't look like in my first video from 2 years ago. So just feel free to ask in the comment section. So to control the path, we need 2 logic gates. I put down 1 logic gate for reset and play all path, and 1 logic gate for reset and stop. So, and on the path, we go to the property section. Auto start when objects connected off, very important. And on this first path, I set it to 50. Yeah, 50. 50 would be cool, I think. Okay. So now we connect the first block, the first pair of stairs. Yeah, it's always a bit tricky to get to the path points. Yeah, which is... Oh, and don't mix up your path with the wrong blocks. So then they will move in the wrong position. So, yeah, auto start off. And let's set this one to 55, 60. It's just something you have to try out. I tried it out myself and somehow it worked. So totally randomly. So let's take this one. Let's see that we get the right path and connect. Oops. Yep, that one, please. Awesome. So on the left logic gate, we make outputs to every path point and say reset and play. So on the other logic gate, we make connections to every path point as well, but this time we say reset and start. Cool. So let's do another. Yep, that one. It's always tricky when they connect it to a block. So to control the logic gates and make entries, I always use the button casing for reset and play when I want to try out things, and the action button for reset and stop. So we make logic connections to the logic gates and make an input. No, not that one, please. Yeah. Logic connection from the button casing to the logic gate and make an input for reset and play. So let's try this out. See, the path points move nicely. What I won't recommend is to set orient along the path on the path for the blocks. It doesn't look good. Well, at least for me. Ooh, what is that? Oh, I think I made a boo-boo. So what I forgot is on every block, not on the path, on every block we have to set the movement style to one way and stop. So that was my boo-boo. So let's try this out again. Yeah, they move nicely. Let's look around if the blocks on the back side look good. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And like I said, I set the settings for the path and the speed and everything total randomly. Yes. Yeah, the pair of stairs on the left, maybe I have to speed it up a little bit. Set it to 70, 80. Well, this is something you have to try out. It depends a bit on the length of your path as well. Yeah, it's really a bit slow now, but I can adjust the speed of the last pair of stairs later. Okay, let's bring the blocks back and get on with the logic. Yeah, that looks how I wanted it. So I normally start with a level starter in my Toybox. A level starter who can invoke certain things, trigger areas to make them inactive, and other toys as well. So yeah, it's important that you have a logic toy to invoke the level starter as well. So for Yoda's house we need a few logic toys as well. A friend generator, locator for the friend generator, and for two other logic toys as well, which will be, well, what we need is a radar marker, because it's a big toy box and we need something to show us where the fun is. So, a radar marker. Where is the other? I always have to look, yeah, the dynamic trigger. Because the last time I've updated my PlayStation, my favorites were gone. You know, you can set the favorites here on the on Disney Infinity with all the Logic toys. So where is the text displayer? Yes, there it is. Cool. So, and when we accept Yoda's mission, we put down a camera to show us where the fun is, which in this case is on top of that tower. So first it's always, when you put a round path, it's always handy to put down a spacer. So just in the middle of that space there, a square block, and then 2 long blocks on each side. Okay, cool. Yeah, I learned this trick from a few other content creators who use those basic blocks just for spacing their toy box out, which can come quite handy. Or when you plan ahead for your toy box. That's why maybe some of my tutorials are a bit longer, but I hope you enjoy them anyway. So let's start with the path here. So just here in the middle, and ooh, we can upgrade. Cool. Yep, in the middle, that it's totally round when we set the path to loot. So, no, we don't need that one. I think, yeah, of course, yeah. We set the first path point, we go there into the properties, and auto start when objects connected off, very important. And we say loot. And the speed, well, let me see, maybe 70? Well, let's try 70 for now. Okay, we need a camera for the path that the camera can spin around and show us where the fun is. A locator for the camera to have a focal point or focus point. And now we can take the spacer out. Well, it takes a lot of time, but I think at the end result will be so cool. So let's start connecting the logic for the first part of the mission. So on the locator, we make a locator connection to the friend generator and say generator location. That's better. So again, a locator connection to the dynamic trigger and say location here. So, and we can use the locator for a third toy, which is the radar marker, and say you should radar marker here where the locator is. So on the radar marker we go to the properties, and since this is kind of a main mission, we should use the yellow exclamation mark, and the beacon location must be set, since this is connected to a locator, not the connected actor, the locator. Connected actor in this case would be when we would connect to the friend generator. So, and since we want the beacon to appear when we enter the toy box, since this is a big toy box, we want to see where the missions are. So I think, yeah, let's connect the level starter and make connections to 2 toys. first the dynamic trigger and set it to on, just to be on the safe side here. So, and the other connections should be to the radar marker. New logic connections on catalyze. And say, it's a bit tricky to work in 3D space, and say activate. Cool. So, yeah, let's put the locator, which is connected to all toys I needed it to be. Set it here. Yeah, they should look good. So on the radar marker, on the properties, we have to tell it that the dynamic trigger target is the locator, and the distance in this case 6, 7, maybe 5 or 4. Just something you have to try out. When the trees are in, could be a wider range, maybe. So on the dynamic trigger, when entered by player Annie, we go to the friend generator and wait, the Yoda costume is, yeah, under Twilight of the Republic. And we say, let the Yoda costume appear. So, and on the friend generator, we don't need a team yet for this friend generator. Well, we set the behavior. Flee, no, jump up maybe. Yeah, jump up would be cool here. Awesome. So, we need another connections from the dynamic trigger to the friend generator. And say when we exit it, so leave the dynamic trigger distance area by player Annie, we go to the friend generator and say remove all, which is on the bottom of this list. Always the things you're looking for is on the bottom of the list. Sometimes. So on the dynamic trigger, when entered by player Annie, we make a connections to the text displayer, and what I'm looking for is under missions. Yeah, I think missions it was. You had me with, oh, that was the wrong one, please. Entered by Annie, under missions, I think it was one up. I have a mission for you. Cool. And very important on the text displayer, since we have to confirm it. The text duration is not that important, but the text style, we have to set it to proposal. Where is it? I just had it. Yeah, proposal. Cool. Yeah, this is right. So, let's say we accept Yoda's proposal. We go to the radar marker and deactivate it. And on the text displayer, when we accept Yoda's proposal, we let Yoda disappear, since Yoda has other things to do. I hope we didn't disturb him here when he's taking a nap or something. Well, and one more logic connection from the text displayer. When text proposal is accepted, we deactivate the dynamic trigger. Okay. So, well, but before we do something with the camera, I think the speed of 70 we said before is a bit too let's set it to 150 maybe. Yeah, I mean we could change it anyway later. So the focus point for the camera must be connected to the camera, which is a locator. Okay, and then we can place the locator where it should be, which is in the middle of the tower. Or at least in the middle where the collecting bin is. Okay. So on the properties of the camera, well, since I want to get rid of the camera text later, we have to have a method to deactivate the camera, otherwise it would work indefinitely. So in this case, I would say set it to use define duration and say display duration 10. And with the 150 on the path, it should work smoothly. Camera target must be set to connected locator, that the camera can focus to the point where the locator is. So on the camera, we make a path connection to the Toybox path. Cool. So, and when we accept Yoda's mission, yeah, Yoda is very important today. See, when we accept the text proposal, we go to the camera and say activate. And since we need something for the path to activate and deactivate, we say when the camera is activated, we say reset and play to the path, and another connection when the camera is deactivated. On the other hand, we say reset and stop. So now we need a few more logic toys for the sheeps we want to collect here. Well, you could use, I think, the friendly wave generator, but I like the friend generator better. Sometimes it works better, more smoothly. So the other toys are the radar marker, which will appear on top of the sheeps. And we need a counter because we want to count the sheeps. So we need a trigger area for invoke the friend generators. So make it here on the bridge. So, and for the bridge, we want to use this trigger area just once. Well, and when you decide if you want to use a trigger area or a dynamic trigger, I would always recommend to use the dynamic trigger because they take less memory than the dynamic trigger. So, a logic gate for the holocron we put down later, a radar marker for the holocron, and of course the holocron itself. Well, and for the radar marker here we need a locator. You see, the locator is bigger than the holocron. Yeah, I think that looks good. So let's connect the locator to the radar marker for the holocron. I always do the locator connections from the locator to the toy because it works much quicker. So let's place the locator under, or the holocron is now inside the locator, but later we just see the holocron. On the, since this is a main mission, let's use the yellow arrow, and the beacon location is the locator, of course. Well, and since we only want to see the beacon for a holocron when we accept the mission, we go to the level starter and say catalyze to the radar marker for the holocron and say inactive. Was it inactive? No, deactivate, sorry. So on the other hand, we have to activate it with a logic connection when text proposal is accepted. Let's show us the radar marker and say activate. Okay, I think, oh yeah, since the radar marker is the locator is bigger than the holocron, and we have to move it away to make the holocron connections. So when the holocron is triggered, we make an input to this logic gate, and on output we make an input connections to the logic gate we used before for, say, reset and start to all the path with the blocks and the parts for the tower. Yeah, just an input. That easy. So, and since we only want to make this once, the holocron work once, let's, I think, use one of the path points and say a new logic connections when reset and played, and we close that logic gate. Yeah. Okay. So when we open the Toybox, we have to open occasionally the logic gate again. So we make catalyze connections from the level starter to this logic gate and open it again. Well, you could use another logic gate for that, but this connection just works as well as good. So now to the connections with trigger area. So on the trigger area, yeah, let's think. Yeah, let's do a new logic connections when entered by player any. We go to that logic gate and make an input. On output on that logic gate, we close that trigger area because we only want the sheeps to appear once. Here on output, oh, where is it? Ah, there. Deactivate. So, but since we only want to use that trigger area when the proposal is accepted, we do in logic connections on the level starter. Let's see. Oops, no. That was the boo-boo. Oh, the bow tie makes a boo-boo. Sorry, guys, it's simply too late. Well, so a new logic connections on the level starter to that trigger area. And say deactivate. And of course we have to make a logic connection from the text displayer and say when text proposal is accepted, we activate that trigger area. So on the trigger area, let's say it's activated, we accepted the proposal. We enter player any. We go to each of the friend generators and I think it's under the critter sections. Wait, critter section, critter, yes, and then... Oh, yeah, I think the sheep is down on the bottom. You know, it's always like this. That the things you're looking for, they're nowhere to be found. And the sheep I'm looking for here is on the bottom of the list. But since there's so much to choose from, it's always fun to build, well, something new. Yeah, there's a sheep. At the bottom, like I told you. So on each friend generator, we go to the properties. And here we need a team, because we need the team for the collecting game. And we set it to blue team. And the behavior, well, this time we set it to flee. It makes the whole thing a bit more interesting. Well, and since we don't want the sheeps to appear in midair, we can use locators for each friend generator. And the easiest way to connect them is by a locator connection to their friend generator. See, that's much quicker. I mean, the other way around works as well, but this is quicker. Okay, let's put the sheeps down where they belong, on the ground of Dagobah, the swamp of countless mysteries. So let's see. Ooh, maybe I should put a temple in here. What do you guys think? Oh, and we can upgrade. Hello, Mr. Darth Vader. We can upgrade you. So the last sheep. So, and this time we have to make active connections, because in this case the friendly wave generator, the sheeps are the actors. So, no, the active connection, yes. So, and the last one. And the actor, cool. So on the radar marker, in the properties, since the sheep are in the blue team, what about beacon type blue arrow maybe? What do you guys think? Yeah, I think blue arrow would be cool. So, and the beacon location, very important, must be the connected actor. And everything else is fine as it is. So, the counter. We have to reset the counter before we can use it properly. Oh, let's take the trigger area down here. So, a new logic connection. When entered by player Annie, and say reset on the counter. Well, you could use the level starter for that, but then the player will see the counter when he enters right away. So the start reset count, since we have 3 sheeps, could be 3. Target count isn't that relevant. Yeah, and we're good to go here. So what's next? Let's see. On my notes here. Yeah. So we have to make entering and exiting connections from the collecting bin trigger area. let's say when blue team is entered, we go to the counter and say decrement by 1. On the opposite, let's say a sheep would flee, or we take it with us accidentally. We say when exited by blue team on the trigger area of the collecting bin, and say increment by 1. So on the counter, a new logic connection when 0 is reached. But no, no, not directly from the counter. Oh, let's use a time delayer here. So where is it? See, my favorites are gone. Oh, too bad, too bad. Ah, there it is. Cool. So, properties, the delay time may be 7 is okay. I just want to make sure that when every sheep is inside the collecting bin, they don't appear right away. So, on the counter, we do connections when 0 is reached. We go to the time delayer and start the delay. And then on the time delayer, when the delay is completed, we go to each of the friend generators and say remove all. So, and since I always like a bing and bong sound or something else, a clock or something, let's make connections to the sound generator. Let's say when blue team is entered into the trigger area, we go here and maybe vocal. I think it was vocal, yes. And make a cheering sound. Why not? Doesn't have always to be a clock or the bell. I used the bell before. No, not. Yeah, let's use cheering here. Okay, cool. See, I know this video is very long. Normally I do smaller videos, but I will make chapters later for this video that you can switch between them. So let's say when exited by Team Blue, we go to the sound generator again and say, what about a boo or booing? Booing is better. Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot something on the holocron. We only need the radar marker for the holocron once. Let's say when the holocron is triggered, we say deactivate that radar marker. So, and the other thing we need to do for the radar markers on the sheeps to appear, we take one of those friend generators and make a logic connection to the radar marker. I say when generated, activate the radar. So, and when the time delayer, which lets the sheep disappear, is up, ended, we deactivate that radar marker. So, and since we want to celebrate when we found all the sheeps, we go to the counter, make a new logic connections when 0 is reached, and go to the sound generator again and play the royal fanfare or something you might like for cheering and celebrating when you reach the goal. So I think we can try out if all the logic works. So we go to Yoda's house, and he appears. we say we accept the mission. See, the camera is focusing on the point where the locator is. And then we can go and see what's happening on that tower there. So, well, let's think for a moment. We have missed this yellow beacon here. We go on the bridge to watch on the tower. Oops, and what is happening here? The sheeps appear. Oh my. So, but we see that the tower is incomplete. So there was something about a holocron radar marker, and we can use our force. See, this is such a cool effect. So we can take each of the sheeps while the blocks are moving in their position, and I think I have to speed up the path for this last piece there. We go up here and put the sheeps into the... Yeah, and you see, oopsie, this is kind of a tight space. So with the booing sound exiting the blue team, the sheeps there is, well, maybe not the best idea. You can leave it out maybe. So, and we have the second sheep through the magic of editing. So, where's the last one? There it is. And we can celebrate! Yeah, guys, thanks for watching or hanging in this whole video. I hope you enjoyed part 3, which took quite a while. I'm so sorry for that. I hope to see you soon, and well, have a great weekend.